Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 with the 2013 mod. It is Jim Bob here, ready to take on the speed of Silverstone on our McLaren safe line. So, hello again, welcome back to our 2013 series. Been a couple of days since we were supposed to be on. We'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, we are back and ready for round 8 of our opening season on the 2013 mod. Trying to make Michael Schumacher an 8-time world champion. We've got 3 seasons to do it before he's retired again for good. Not going to happen this year. We're all about trying to build to maybe have a chance next season, or if all else fails, we've got a big rules reset coming for season 3. Maybe we'll have to wait until then, but ideally I'd like to try and get Michael his championship next season, if at all possible. Evening Wayne, evening Joe, evening Army, good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who's lurking in the chat as well. As always, please feel free to say hello, and if you've got any questions, ask away. We'll see what we can do to answer those for you. So, been a little while. Let's catch ourselves up with where we are. We're sitting 4th in the Constructors. We've got 80 points. We are quite a big margin behind Ferrari, as you can see. 71 points. No, 51 points. We'll get there in the end. Brain isn't working. 51 points behind behind Ferrari in the Constructors, and a massive gap to Red Bull, as you can see. 159 points behind them. Very, very far off there. As far as the Drivers' Championship goes, Vettel has a pretty healthy 52-point lead over Hamilton. Our best so far is Schumacher in 7th with 42 points. We're not too far away from Kimi. A little bit too far away from Nico Rosberg at the moment to really challenge him. And then, massive gap to Seb, who is just absolutely on fire this season. It's been a pretty dominant season for him so far. I think he's racked up 5 wins, or is it even 6 wins? Let's have a look. In the standings, go to drivers. 5 wins so far. Let's see. Hamilton's got a win. Webber's got a win. And that's it. That's the opening 7 rounds. 5 for Seb, 1 for Lewis, 1 for Mark. So, we're not even close. We've had a DNF and a fastest lap for Michael. Jensen hasn't had any major successes yet. But he has moved above Felipe Massa by 4 points in the last race. So, it's not all bad. However, the board have set a ridiculously high target of finishing 1st in the Constructors' Championship, and being the long term is also be the Constructors' Champion. We've got a little bit of time left on this one, but not on this one. In fact, no. This is the target season. So these are both 1-year targets, and we're going to fail on both. And as you can see, the board is not happy with the results. I'm relatively happy with the results, considering the massive gap in performance this car has. But the board is not, and we have low confidence. And if that dips any lower, we risk getting fired. So we need to try and do something to try and cheer them up wherever we possibly can. We have made a few little changes. We've signed Alan Permain to hopefully speed up our pit crew. I don't know if that will help in the long term, but we'll see. We've been scouting out a couple of different engineers. We've also been... I opened up the database editor there. We'll come back to that in a moment. We've also been scouting out some other staff as well. So if we go to our staff here, we recently signed Nicholas Hennell as well, a new head of aero to try and improve the performance on the car that way. We're keeping with Paddy Lowe for now, but we are looking to replace him with Adrian Newey as soon as we can possibly get him to become available to negotiate. His, as you can see, he's recently started a contract, which is why we can't negotiate with him. And then, obviously, it's the race weekend on top of that isn't going to help. But, we can sign Nui. His stats are phenomenal. As you can see, his boosted stats. So -2 potentially on all of these. Depends what his actual baseline stats are. But we do a straight comparison with Paddy Lowe. There we go. We've got his baseline stats. You can see he is 9 points better in chassis. He's 8 points better in front wing. He's 6 points better in rear wing, 18 points better in side pods, 13 points better in underfloor, 5 points better in suspension. He is an absolute beast. And he's going to cost us an absolute arm and a leg as well, because he's on a huge salary. But in the grand scheme of things, he's only 600 grand more than Paddy Lowe's getting. So this is the problem, though. It's the fact that he still has 2 years to go with a 4 million buyout. We've still got 3 years on Paddy Lowe's contract, and that's a 5 million buyout. So it's going to cost me 9.5 million effectively to buy out Paddy Lowe and Adrian Newey, to hire Newey on top of whatever signing bonus we're going to have to pay, and however much we're going to have to pay him as a salary on top of that as well. So that will be a very expensive signing, but keep those fingers crossed that we can get him. We don't have the money right now, that's for certain. We've got 195k in the bank. How is our car looking? Let's have a little look. Evening, Mark. Good to see you. So, our car is very good in DRS. Not too bad in top speed. Kind of mid-pack in its downforce. Dirty air is pretty good. Tyre wear is not great. Engine cooling is also mid-pack as well. We've got a new underfloor and a new front wing coming. The front wing will be ready not long after Silverstone. We've still got 2 weeks left on the underfloor. And we are building an extra chassis. I think that's a brand new Mark IV, and we could only afford to build the one. Let me check our stock in the warehouse. Yeah, there we go. We haven't got any of the new chassis yet. So we've got a new chassis coming as well. We just need to build it. Let's check the inbox. I've got something as unread. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Welcoming Alan Permain, who was signed very, very recently indeed. In fact, did I do his training when we signed him? I don't remember. Oh, yes, we did. We put him on drill planning, didn't we? Because those were his 2 weakest stats. Okay. Right. I think we're ready to head to Silverstone then, aren't we? Let's see. Target for Michael is 8th. Target for Jensen is 9th. Cars are ranked 9th and 10th, so both drivers effectively need to gain 1 place. And let's head to Silverstone.
Welcome, and come on in to the home of British motor racing. We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. McLaren's team principal will be walking on thin ice. The board is getting concerned about their recent lack of results. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Even Crofty is aware of the fact that the board aren't happy at the moment. That is a little worrying. I don't remember the last time I ever heard that message. So, yeah, that'll be a bit of a concern. As you can see, we've got a lot of heavy rain for practice, all the way through practice and potentially qualifying as well. It will be dry for the Grand Prix, but yeah, a lot of wet tyres to use up, it would seem. We've got some start on our driver prep already, thanks to our reserves, our affiliates doing some car work for us. Silverstone's normally 17 laps if you want to get 2 separate runs in. Our car part knowledge, what is our car part knowledge at the moment? 80%. Yeah, we don't need to worry too much about lots of running. It is going to start dry. Whether it'll stay dry for very long, I don't know. Let's go with 20 laps for this session. Let's drop our pace settings down. Let's do our car parts as well. So older engine for practice. ERS will stay, and gearbox will also stay. They are the weakest of those that we have. They'll both need to get switched out probably for this Grand Prix. And then let's move over to Jensen's car. Swap out the engine. ERS, I think, still the first one, isn't it? Yep. And what about the gearbox? That's still the first one as well. Okay, so yeah, Michael definitely up against it with that DNF that we had earlier in the season. Right. With that done, we're ready for setups. So we're looking at probably an 11.5 on the rear wing. Between a 5 and a 6, I would say, on the front wing. I'll start with a 6. And then let's go with an 8.2. And we'll bring this up. Not quite all the way up. We'll bring this up a little bit as well. So we're doing Jensen's car. Let's move over to Michael's car. We'll go slightly different. We'll go with a 5.5, I think. Oops, too much. Too little. There we go. And again, we'll go with a 9.1. Did I go with a 2.8 or an 8.2? I meant to go with an 8.2. Yeah, I did go 8.2. For a moment there, I just thought I'd gone completely the wrong direction on the other car's roll bar. And then we're going to push this up a little bit as well. Going to go slightly higher on this one. Let's go all the way up. And let's take that up to a 0.7. Go. So a little bit of difference between the two. And let's send them out to see if they are going to actually be good. Oh! This is becoming regular. A game has frozen and crashed again. So we've got to do all that setup work again. There it goes. This is becoming, yeah, almost a semi-regular event now, the game crashing on me like this. Haven't even fired it up for a few days. Friday was the last time I had this fired up. Evening, Dino. Oh, it's crashed again. This time it's given me the crash reporter. It didn't give me that last time. It just froze and then disappeared. All right. Third time's the charm. Maybe. If we're lucky. Yes, there we go. Bit frustrating, but there we go. So we need to whiz through this again, unfortunately.
Welcome, and come on in to the...
Right, so very quickly try and whiz through this stuff again. Go, and car setup. So I went with a 5.5, 11.5, a 9.1. Went all the way up to a 3.5 and a 0.7. Let's go 20 laps. Let's go with the pace settings. Go. Change out the engine. Change the run plan. Change those. Go to the setup. Go with 6. And 11.5 and 8.2. 3.4. Let's go with the 0.6. There we go. Right. Hey, there we go.
Should be starting.
This time, it works. Evening, Mike. Dino, my condolences. Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, that's loud and clear.
When's it going to start to rain? Hardly at all in this session. So it looks like all the big water's coming in the second session in the afternoon. Okay. So, yeah, a bit weird to not have been on for the last couple of days. Monday, I was just really tired. Really, really tired. I could feel myself really starting to flag around about, what, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I had a very weird bit of sleep over the weekend, and it left me drained. And then yesterday, I was fully intending to come back to the stream. And then it got to about 6:45, 7 o'clock, and I started getting really hungry, and I'd planned to go and grab myself a pizza from around the corner at the takeaway. So I did, nipped out, grabbed a pizza, got some chips, got back, ate the chips, ate half the pizza, and within 5 minutes of that, I just suddenly felt completely like a zombie. I just had no energy at all. And I could feel myself just almost like you know those videos where you see kids trying to stay awake when they're in the high chair, and their heads just go eventually splat on the I think I just yeah just me putting my hand up like that, turned off the camera, or turned off the camera tracking, but you know, you see their heads sort of bobbing up and down, and then eventually thump onto the table. Yeah, that was how I felt with about 15-20 minutes, well, not even that, about 15-10 minutes before I was supposed to start streaming. My head was just going, and I don't know where that came from. So I just went straight to bed, and it took me a few goes to go to sleep, but yeah, I went to bed really early yesterday. I think I was out cold by about 9 o'clock. I don't know where that sudden wave of fatigue hit me. And I woke up feeling like crap this morning. I think I had another difficult night's sleep with my sleep apnea and some snoring. And I woke up with that dry throat, that headache where brain feels like it's just rattling around, and it goes like, it's really painful. So had a little bit of food, had some paracetamol, had some ibuprofen, had a fair bit to drink, and about an hour later I was feeling semi-human again. But I've been up since 7-ish this morning, and I feel fine, and I'm still awake, and I still feel wide awake as well. So very strange couple of days. Feeling back to normal again today. Evening, Daniel. I thought while our boys are running around doing this, we could have maybe a little bit of fun as well. I was just browsing around, and I found these two quizzes on BBC Sport. Every F1 driver champion and every F1 constructor champion. So I figure we could have a go at these. So this was clearly Norris. In fact, let me just move stuff out of the way so I can bring the keyboard forward. There we go. And then we've got Verstappen. And we've got Hamilton. 2016 was Rosberg. 2013, this is the Vettel era. There we go. That was Jenson Button. 2007 was Raikkonen. Can't spell Raikkonen. Let's just spell Kimi. There we go. It spells it for me. Lovely stuff. 2006, 2005, they were both Alonso. 2004, we're into the Schumi era. 99 and 98, they were both Hakkinen. 97 was Jacques Villeneuve. Yeah, 96 was Damon. 93 was Alain Prost in his final season before retiring. 92 was Nigel. Ooh, speaking of which, I found the Williams. My 1992 FW14B. There we go. 91 was Senna. 87. Who won it in 87? That was PK, I think. Nelson PK. Yes. 1984. I think, if memory serves, that was the last of Niki Lauda's. Yes, it was. 1980. This is where I start to struggle with my knowledge. I think 1980 was that Alan Jones. It was. Fantastic. 79 Ferrari. Come back to that one. 78 Lotus. I'll come back to that one. Let's start going to some of the ones that I do know. That was Farini, wasn't it? Or who won the opening? Farini. I'll add in another one that I do know. We've got Alberto Ascari. It's not in this box, but he was in 1952. There he is. We also want... what's his name? I should know this name. It's such an obvious name. It's five-time world champion. My brain's gone dead. I can't remember his name. Let's start adding in some of the ones I know. We need Jack Brabham. I spelled Brabham wrong. Yes, I did. 1966, Jack Brabham. Cooper? Nope. Oh, for God's sake. Jody Scheckter. There we go, 1979. Jim Clark. 65 to 63. Fangio, that's the name I was trying to remember and couldn't. There we go. Is it Collini? I thought it was... I will tap out in a moment on some of these, but not just yet. Let's take the F out of there. We need James Hunt. McLaren did not win the title. Let's just quickly check in on the drivers, see how they're doing. 3 out of 5. Okay, we've got a little bit of time left, yeah. I should know more of these, and I'm just not getting them for some reason. They're not popping in my head. Surtees. We're missing Surtees. Yeah, once we start getting into these early years, this is where I really struggle. It's all before my time, and I haven't really seen much of any of this stuff. I know Moss isn't in here because Moss never won a world championship. He won races. How am I missing Jackie Stewart? 3-time world champion. ones from the 70s at the very least. All right. I know this guy. I can't remember how to. I can't remember exactly what his surname is. Argentinian, won the first ever World Championship. I thought it was. Oh, is it Farina? Yes, there we go. Giuseppe Farina. There we go. Yeah. If you want to start chipping in some answers, some I will probably go, oh, why didn't I not know that? But yeah, I'm pretty much tapped out on this one at the moment anyway. I can't think of who I'm missing. I will probably go, oh, as soon as I see it. But we are looking for 1978, 1974, 72, 70, 67, and 58. 79 was Scheckter. Yeah, I would have got that one. Would have got Scheckter. And that's some feedback. Let's have a look. What we got? Oh, of course. Oh, wait. I thought of another one. So, yeah, Fittipaldi. Emerson Fittipaldi. And, of course, Mario Andretti. Yeah, they were the ones I should have got. So we need 1970, 1967. I'm going to kick myself on 67. I know I am. 58. Just those three to complete the list. And let's take a look at our feedback. 89%. That's not too bad. Denny Holm, correct. Yeah, I don't think I'd have got that. Oh, Jochen Rindt, of course. I see, I knew the second I saw the name, I would go, of course. But it's 58, I don't know. I get the feeling I should probably know 58, but... Mike Hawthorne. God damn it, I knew it. There we go. So the ones I forgot about Andretti, but I knew Andretti was a world champion. Only 38% people got that one. I got Fittipaldi before that one popped back in. Jochen Rindt I should have got. Denny Holm I would not have got. Mike Hawthorne I should have got. And I got Farina before that one was done. So there we go. That's all of them, but I needed a little bit of help on that one. So thank you for helping me out on that one. Let's take a look at Button. We've got feedback from him now.
Any feedback?
88
Okay,
for
understood.
him. Let's call him in. And let's do Michael's tweaks while he's in here. Too much camber. So let's bring that back to there. Let's go with that and see how we stack up with that. And let's get Jensen in. And we'll do the constructors in a moment as well. That one I hope will be a little bit easier. But there'll no doubt be a couple of curveballs in that one as well. I need to find quite a bit. Wondering if that's actually going to be a 7-3. Could be. Bring this down a bit more like that. Yeah, some of those early champions are really, really difficult to remember. But I should have got Mike Hawthorne. And I should have remembered about Jochen Rindt. I wouldn't have known what year he won it, but I remembered the name. So I feel slightly ashamed of myself there on a couple of those. And I should have definitely got Andretti. Right, while we're just waiting for Jensen's to finish, we'll take a quick ad break and then we'll crack on with the constructors quiz. All right, so let's have a go at this one then. So, last 2 seasons were McLaren, then it was Red Bull. Then we had Mercedes, who were super dominant. More of Red Bull, thanks to Vettel. We had Brawn. I cannot spell for the life of me, apparently. We had Brawn GP in 2009. 2008 was Hamilton, so that was McLaren again. Is McLaren not popping for 2008? Oh no, wait, this is the constructors, isn't it? Not the world champion. Must have been Ferrari winning the championship then. It was, yeah. That was Renault. 97, I believe, was Williams. 95 was Benetton. The year before they became Renault. 1978. Let's go with Lotus. Yep. 1971. Wow. Blitzing through this list already, aren't we? It was in 59 and 60. Brabham. I need 3. I can never remember the name of the constructor from the first season, but it began with a V. I'm almost certainly sure it began with a V. 69, 62.
Copy.
Did Alpha actually win the championship? No, they didn't. Maserati didn't, I don't think. Nope. I think I will submit on those ones. Let's see which ones they were. Van Wall. BRM. How did I forget BRM? Matra. I should have remembered Matra, because that was like the first season that Stewart won the World Championship. So I should have got that one. So we didn't get that one. We didn't get BRM. And Van Wall. I knew it began with a V, but I was never going to remember what it was. But yeah, not bad. Only missed 3 on that one. And that put me in fastest lap category, which apparently is quite a big category, 34 to 67. But then some constructors have won a lot of titles, so that kind of makes sense. Well, there we go. A little bit of fun with BBC. While we're here, let's just have a look, see if there's anything new. These were the 2 packages released over the weekend by Kevin. The Ferrari and Red Bull Fantasy packages were 27, and the new livery models as well. So there is the Red Bull. And here is the Ferrari. Quite like, apart from the big blue HP looks a little weird, and so does the white halo. But everything else about it I quite like. I like how they've got how it's got the Italian stripes, albeit upside down, on the on the rear wing. Right. How are we looking over here? We've still got a long way to go, haven't we? Let's speed them up. Strategy I want to go with on race day. Do I want to try a 1-stop or a 2-stop? I think we're going to have trouble either way keeping up with the front runners. We're just not going to have the downforce we need, especially through this area here. You know, the high-speed stuff. We're at optimal with Schumacher's. It's 97 plus. It's 97. Okay. What about Jensen? Rifle in. Just missed Jensen. Got past the pit entrance. 89. Oh, wow. Okay. So that looks like a roll bar issue to me. Let's get him in. Let's see what we need to tweak. Is it the front wing? It is the front wing. I could go up or down. Let's go up. Bring that in. Like that. And it is a roll bar. It's also a braking stability, which I wasn't expecting. Let's go back to a 6. Let's go with that. There we go. So we'll try those setups out in the next session.
There's a yellow flag now.
We're going to spin for Esteban Gutierrez.
Through
Whereabouts
Brooklands.
is that?
And round they spin.
Brooklands.
Oh, dearie me, you don't want to be doing that.
What a big spin. So 2 runs, 2 different bits of setup feedback. We're almost there with Schumacher. We might actually be there now with that little tweak. And Jensen, we didn't really make much progress, but hopefully those changes will bring him very close as well. And that is the end of the first session. We'll just whiz straight on through to the next one. We can start this one in the wet. Ooh, just. Could get worse. I do need to do a lap on a set of mediums. Just to make sure we actually do hand back medium tyres. We'll start on the mediums and then we may have to get off them pretty quick if the rain gets worse. Which it might do. Quite soon, or it might take a little while before that heavy rain really kicks in. We'll find out as we head into practice 2. Send them out for a lap at the very least. Slightly dipped. And then it's going to go back up again very, very quickly. There we go. So at least we'll get a lap in on these tyres. There we go.
The pit lane is wetter.
Evening, Foamy. Let's go to a set of inters. This is the race where everyone's tyres are exploding. Yes, it was. Well, one of them. It wasn't the only one, but yeah, this one was a bad one.
power track conditions.
Ignored. There we go. And speeding back up again, or trying to. Track keeps fluctuating in and out of DRS. Evening, yes. Evening, Eric. Yankee running wide at 15. That'll be, I think, Maggots Beckett's. I checked the website yesterday. Have you updated it today? Ah, God damn it, 99%. I'm one little click of toe away from being perfect on Schumacher's car. Waiting on Jensen's feedback as well. Let's call Michael in. See if it's clear. I think it will be clear which way I need to go with the toe. I think I need to take it back one click. Ah, yes, I see.
Everything okay? Understood.
I see they're all labelled as Assassin's Creed. Alright, what's my Jensen feedback looking like? Ah, look at that. Nailed it. Beautiful. Let's call him in. Let's reconfigure this. It is going back one click. There we go. So Schumacher's done. Assuming his prep is done. Yes, it is. Jensen's prep is done. So he's good to go as well. Go. And that's us done with practice. right, end of practice 2. So, on to day 2, practice 3. It's going to be another very wet session. And I need to decide whether or not I want to give in some softs or mediums. If I'm going to 2-stop this, I don't know if I can make it with 2 sets of softs. And we know how good the Red Bull tyre wear is. It's insane, like 80%. So they will probably do a soft to medium 1-stop and just blitz me completely. I don't know how good anyone else's tyre wear is, but let's give in softs. Keep the extra mediums just in case. So we're not going to go out in this session. We don't need to.
Session should be starting now.
Hide the box so I don't accidentally click on the driver to send them out. There's the big water. And lots of it. I hope we can do something in qualifying. I wonder if the weather's going to be changeable in qualifying itself. That might give us a chance to maybe get a little bit higher than we would normally get. But I'm not holding my breath too much on that one. Evening, Adrian.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Ooh, a spin for still.
Now it's quite wet for those on the track. Whoa, and there it goes.
Yep.
The conditions
There it goes
clearly
at,
causing problems for the
Woodcut.
drivers.
No, that's Luffield, isn't it? And then Woodcut's just ahead. Probably should have saved one of the quizzes for this session, where we're just sitting it out and not doing anything. Lesson learned. It's the frustrating thing is that when you can't simulate a session and keep your drivers in the pits. Every time you hit simulate, your drivers are going to go out, and they're almost certainly going to mess with your setup as well. And then they're going to start using up tyres and putting unnecessary wear and tear on the car as well. They're not going to avoid curbs. They're not going to conserve pace. They're going to go out and do their own thing. Potentially crash the car. So to avoid all that and not go out at all, you have to manually go into the session and then just time 16 it. It's frustrating. I really wish the simulate had an option whether or not to send the cars out, or whether it would actually do what you told it to. So you could put tires setups on the car and then they'll use different tires and run a different setup. Evening off. It is the GP2 and GP3 rosters as well, yes. It's not just F1, it is those two feeder categories as well. So, no penalties that we know of going into the Grand Prix. But first, we have to qualify, and that is next.
We're moving on now to the all-important qualifying session.
The high-speed corners at Silverstone are a great challenge for the cars and drivers. The technical Sector 1 rewards strong mechanical grip, while high-speed aerodynamic efficiency will come into play in the final two sectors.
There, of course, we've got Nico Hulkenberg. How do you think he's faring heading into qualifying?
We saw them set an impressive lap time in practice, so it's a great start as they move into qualifying. But as we all know, a good performance in practice doesn't guarantee success over the rest of the weekend.
There's not much left to say, so let's get into it.
Oh, we are starting with the big rain. Look at that, 4.75 mil for the opening start of Q1. We need to change out some bits, so let's go with that. Engine there. I'm going to keep that ERS on and just hope we don't develop an issue. That gearbox is good until it hits 40%, then it starts to become a problem, so we'll leave that on as well. Let's change the engine there. 50% is the cut-off point on engines when they start to dip. And with that, we are ready to hit the track. Let's see what the weather's going to do. It is going to improve. Let's get an early lap in then. A little bit of space between the drivers. There we go.
And we want to generate some temperature for this outlap. Let's go.
Nobody else on track yet, not surprised. Probably won't see them coming out until the rain starts to ease off a little bit. So we have the whole track to ourselves. Where are we in the championship? Fourth in the constructors, I think. Oh, Michael's locked up. Could have been worse, but it's going to affect his second sector
Look
time.
at the McLaren driver here.
Let's see how bad it
Nothing
looked from
wrong
outside.
so far. Struggling with the car. But that's just the risk
Yeah,
you
it just
take.
ran a bit
The
wide
later you
and then
leave
managed to kind of correct. But that will cost him a couple of tenths, I think, for his middle split. Let's see, split time coming up with the start of the Hangar Straight. Oh wow, cost me more than I thought. 7 tenths. So Jensen's easily going to be top.
Delta negative and close to 0.
Oh, he's locked up again. On the way in. Oh my god, Schumacher, what is going on? Supposed to be a wet weather genius. I mean, I don't think he is that good in this, in the wet. In fact, we can have a look. How far off was he? 5.4 seconds. Ugh. All right. While they're on their in laps, let's just take a look at the stats. So, adaptability 92. Jensen's an 89. Alonso is just, God mode in this game. 92, comfortably the highest rated driver. I say comfortably, Vettel has improved. I think he started in 90s, 91 now. Hamilton's an 89. And Schumacher, Rosberg, Raikkonen, apparently terrible in the wet. I don't think he was that bad in the wet. What about Webber? 80. Massa, 88. I don't think Massa was that good in the wet. Well, he was all right. Ricciardo, 78, but this is a young Ricciardo. He's 23 years old. Grosjean, Hulkenberg.
Remember, the pit lane is wetter.
We're going to have a look at Maldonado's stats. Adaptability 76. This is control 66. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, everyone else is going out because the track is drying up. What have they gone out on? Tyres are they using? They're on wets. Is it likely to actually go to doubt? It is. Look, it is likely to just about go to Inters. Ooh. Let's prep for that, shall we? It's still too wet for these tyres. But we are getting there. It's just plateauing a little bit. It's going to dip down a bit more by the look of it. These lap times are going to be so much quicker than us. You can see Adrian Sutil is purple, which says everything. Jean-Luc Verne is purple. Track is considerably drier than when we were out there. Rosberg does a 30.1. We're going to see a sub 30, I'm pretty sure of that. Not yet. There we go, 29.8. Wow, not a good first sector for Vettel. Well, that's why he's stuck behind... is that Bianchi? No, it's Chilton. He's stuck behind Chilton. Oh, and it's going to hold up Webber as well now. And there we go. Track is now in the right condition. Vettel's through. Can Webber make it through? I don't know. Alonso's steaming up in the background. Charging up to the pair of them. Webber still hasn't got through. And this might even hurt Alonso's lap here at the end.
Warm the tyres where you can.
Yeah, look at that. Vettel did a 26.5. Alonso being held there at the end did a 27.1. Oh, god damn it. How? Have you damaged the underfloor? Did you do it? Oh, he must have done it on the lockup and I just didn't notice it. My hope is that the track gets a little bit worse. Once we're done with our lap. It is still improving though. As long as we make it through this session, that's the most important thing. We should be able to comfortably get through, unless the track continues to dry while we're on our in lap, and then by the time we get back out, it starts to get worse again. Let's see if that is the case as we start our second flying run. Clear track for both cars again. See if anyone jumps straight back out onto the track again. Everyone's still piling into the pits. Track stabilised. Looks like it might have stabilised. It has stabilised. 29.6 for Jensen, 29.8 for Schumacher, who has that damaged underfloor, which I didn't even notice until it's too late. Mind you, I can't change it till after the session anyway. Water level is holding at 3.61, so we timed it right to get a stable weather. Maldonado is now leaving the pits. Everyone else still coming back into the pits or waiting. There we go, that's the second car out. That's Verne. Now Webber and Sutil coming out as well. absolutely flying. Yellow flag. Don't be Jensen. Don't be Jensen. It's fucking Jensen. God damn it, Jensen.
Let's have a look at that. It's obviously
He'd already gone
quite
past the
wet
pit
out
lane
there.
entrance as well, so I couldn't even call him in to abort the
Whoa,
run.
and around they spin. I don't think it's much of a surprise given the conditions here today.
It's cost him seconds. Many seconds. Doesn't even
Currently,
improve
that is
in the end.
17.
Schumacher goes top. Jensen would have been about half a second quicker than that as well. So now I need to send Jensen back out again. Let's take manual control to get him round quicker. May as well do that with Michael as well. Just in case. I'll have time for another run. Assuming traffic isn't too bad. There's going to be some cars tripping over each other. That's for certain. So Maldonado is starting his lap. Let's see if he's going to have any problems with traffic. Number 13 in 13th place. It's a cursed combination if ever there was one.
Take care, the pit lane is wetter.
So are you not releasing any stuff on Overtake anymore then, Foamy? No, no, there's no need in that respect. I just wondered, as that's the main resource for everybody, whether you might release a few bits there with links to your website for the rest of everything. That's what we tend to see with people who have their Patreons, where they have all their stuff on Patreon, and some stuff they release for free with links to their Patreon. I wonder if you might do the same.
Pack is high.
So Maldonado stays P13. We have got a lot of traffic. And my drivers are a little bit closer to each other than I would like. And I'm not quite sure why that is. Schumacher seems to be on a much faster outlap for some reason. There we go. He's pulled over. I think he might have screwed up that Ferrari. Of Alonso. No. Yes, Alonso. Vettel on a good lap. Hugging the curb here. Really do not want my boys this close to each other. There's an easy way to resolve that. keep that on, actually. There we go. It's a much more respectable gap. That's Maldonado coming through, so we don't have to get pulled over. We've got 30 seconds to cross the line. That's plenty of time. Trouble is, we are going to have quite a bit of traffic to fight through. Schumacher's safe.
Good gap.
Don't know why I seem to back out again.
You're good to open
But
the
Jensen absolutely needs to find some time. Alonso has gone quickest. Let's ride with Jensen. Has got worse, look, 3.79. We're not going to set a purple sector in the first or second sector. A little lift. It could have been worse. Oh, that's it. Jensen's out. Unless he can somehow pull off a miracle over the rest of the lap. I think Jensen's out. So, of course, we get Bianchi through Maggots and Beckett's. That's it. It's over. I'm not even going to continue the lap. He's out. Oh, damn. Both of my drivers just losing the plot a little bit today. Schumacher spinning... Sorry, Jensen spinning at the end of an absolutely blistering lap. And Schumacher locking up twice and damaging his underfloor on his first run. At least we got one of our drivers through, but we should have had both of them through comfortably. That's really going to put Jensen up against it in the Grand Prix, being that far back. He'll get a couple of quick overtakes in, but after that, it's going to be hard work. And I'm out of spare underfloor, so if he does that again, I'm in trouble. Right, Q2 is next. So we've got 1.87 mil. Let's take a look. It's going to stay pretty consistent here at the start. I'm not going to need the Intersport. I'm not going to need him for the race. I think what I was trying to say then. Not quite kicked into gear. But we want to be out early before the tractors start to get slightly worse. Just waiting on the Salvas. There they are trickling out behind the Resta, and we're waiting on Maldonado as well. There's Maldonado. So that's everybody on track. Somebody just went off. Oh, it's Kimi. Is he going to abort his run? He is. Kimi aborts his run.
Here's the replay. So here we are following the Alpine. Oh no, that's not how to do it.
So that's what
And there's
Schumacher
not much
did.
they can do about that now.
No, sorry, that's what Jensen did. Except he could have just carried on. He could have carried on. And that's a mistake from him to abort the lap. He should have kept going. So, Michael will go top at the end of his run. He'll be the first one across the line. He'll also get up to peak confidence as well, or should do. Alonso, 0.3 quicker than us in the first sector. That's not that much of a surprise, I suppose, given how good that Ferrari is in comparison to us. And he's 4 overall points higher in rating as well. That's quite a fair amount. A 40.8 middle sector. And again, we're down 0.3 in the middle. And it's a 134.4. So let's see how much quicker Alonso goes. 134.3. Wow. He lost some time at the end of the lap there. Vettel, a full second, just about, quicker than us. We should be able to get through. Quicker than Rosberg. Grosjean didn't have the best of laps by the look of it. Should be a bit higher there. Raikkonen obviously aborted his run. We'll be peeling off into the pits here. How long until he comes out again? He might come straight out before we get back to the pits. Looks like there will be time for one more run before the track gets a little bit worse, maybe? It's hard to tell. I mean, again, this is just a guess. This is not gospel, this line. But it does look as though it's maybe getting a little bit higher here. And we have got... the next weather drop in 5 minutes, so that to me suggests might get a little bit worse in about 5 minutes. Let's keep the same tyres on. Maldonado
Let's see
with a
what
lock-up.
happened
This
there.
is on his in-lap,
Here we
though.
are then at the 11th corner. Oh, and the car locks up. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
Lock-up. And that sort of change between Maggots and Beckett's. And there goes Kimi. And out goes Michael. So once again, it'll be Kimi, then Michael. Let's see if Kimi does the same again. Or if he actually completes a lap this time. Let's see how long before anyone else decides to hit the track again as well. If they all start flooding out again, it suggests that, yes, the track is going to get a little bit worse. If it's only going to get slightly worse, then they'll probably just drip feed out for their second run. Just hope it doesn't get better. Otherwise, we've gone way too early. Right, that is Rosberg and who else? Vettel. Maldonado. They're all starting to come out, aren't they? So, there, look. Damn, just went up by 0.01. It's 187 now, as opposed to 186. So we might see the track start to deteriorate. We might have traffic to deal with. Let's hope it's a clean lap. Just right the wing on this one. It's a slight improvement. Matching Kimi. I think we might be okay on traffic. Kimi might have some. Might get away with it. Matching Raikkonen's time here. No improvement in the middle sector though. Kimi does have to get past one of the Saubers. That is Esteban Gutierrez. Alright, need a good final sector. Raikkonen improves to P7. And that is below us. He can't go above us now. That's good. We climb above Alonso, which I have to say I'm surprised at. But Alonso lost time on his first run in the final sector. Let's see if he gets held up again. He is behind Mark Webber, so probably not going to get held up. Of all the cars in the bottom 6, I would imagine it's Grosjean who's going to be the one to escape. I don't think anyone else will be able to. New purple middle sector for Seb. He's just gone out of the hangar straight now. And Stowe. He's now into the double right-hander of Club. Alonso jumps up to second with a much improved final sector. Everyone's getting held up at the end of the lap. Grosjean does get through. Can anyone challenge Adrian Sutil? Maybe Ricciardo. No, not quite. What about Gutierrez? I don't think he will. No, he doesn't. So it is Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Gutierrez, De Resta, Maldonado and Verne who are eliminated at the end of Q2. Schumacher into the top 10 shootout. No one else is going to have time to run again, but I wonder if Kimi's going to go again. Let's find out. Nope. No one's going back out. There we go. Q2 is done. And Seb's pace is, once again, looking pretty ominous. Although Alonso could push him. We will see how the top 10 shootout goes. Okay, 2.35 mil for this session. Another brand new set of inters. Let's see what the weather's going to do. It's going to get worse, so we want to be out first. What did I have my pizza? They do a deal where you can get a pizza, any pizza with 2 toppings for, a cheap price. And I ordered a pepperoni and I got a cheese and tomato, just a margarita. But, it was fine. I nearly ordered one of those to start with. Never, ever have pineapple. Pepperoni, ham, mushroom, and mixed peppers is the ultimate pizza. Not a big fan of the peppers, not a big fan of mushrooms. Pepperoni and ham, yes. Everybody's out. None of the big boys are going to hold each other up by the look of it. Which one of the 2 Red Bulls is that? Is that Seb? It is. So Seb's is at the front of that little pack. Then it's Alonso. So Alonso, if anything, will get a little bit of a benefit from Vettel. Massa is not going to hold up his teammate because he's behind him. And then Webber is trailing behind Massa. Where is Grosjean? There. So Grosjean's behind Raikkonen as well. So what about Mercedes? Rosberg is ahead of Hamilton. There's a decent gap between them. But I would imagine Hamilton will be quicker. So that could be interesting. Of course, if somebody makes a mistake and spins or runs wide, has a lockup, that is going to throw off everybody in close proximity behind. maybe even everybody behind, depending on what they do and where they do it. So this might be a one-shot quali. This might be the lap that determines where everyone starts. Because the track is about to get worse. .28.5 in the opening sector is not ideal. Rosberg is a tenth quicker. He may not be as good as Schumacher in the wet, but he's got a much better car. Vettel at 28.3. 28.2 for Alonso. Massa benefiting a little bit from being behind Fernando as well. I think Alonso is going to take pole here. That would be my guess, just pipping Seb. He leaves 3/10 to Rosberg in the middle sector. Again, that's down to our lack of downforce through the fast sweeping turns of Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. .25.8 across the line. This is going to be the tight fight. These two here. I think Seb might actually just edged it. Seb goes top. He does just edge it by 46 thousandths of a second. Very, very tight. Massa up to P4. Webber P5. Raikkonen goes P6. We're quicker than Sutil. We're slower than Grosjean. It goes P4. Good lap for Grosjean. So Schumacher will start P9. His target's P8. Jensen's target's P9. He starts down in, what, 19th, 18th? A long way off the where he needs to be. And the track is now getting worse, and it's going to get much, much worse. I'm going to send him straight back out again and hope that we can maybe find a touch of a time, but I don't think we will. I'm going to send him on a full push straight away. Just need to get around this lap as quickly as possible to have as little water on the track as is possible. Every single second that we're out here, the track gets wetter. So by the time we get to the end of the lap, the track is going to be considerably worse than when we did our previous run. And the longer it takes to do that outlap, the worse it'll be at the start of the next one. Everyone's piling out as well. We're going to have traffic to fight through. It's going to be a nightmare. Oh, for God's sake. Don't break the underfloor. Silverstone. Yeah, 28.9. We're 4/10 down in the opening sector alone. Alonso ahead of us. And Vettel. Oh, we're going to catch him in maggots and Beckett's. Ah. There's no point. That's ruined. No one else is going to improve either. What a crappy ending to qualify. What a disaster that was. So, P9, not the best starting position. Really hoping that we might be able to play the weather well and maybe qualify a little higher than normal, but no, not the case.
52 laps around Silverstone await our drivers as the anticipation continues to build.
Silverstone is certainly a circuit rich in Formula One history. From Giuseppe Farina winning the first championship race held here in 1950, right through to Lewis Hamilton's 2008 masterclass on racing in the rain.
Silverstone is a power circuit. It demands downforce and total confidence in the car for a driver to keep their foot planted through Sector 2, through the high-speed corners at Woodcote and at Copse, and carrying on through Maggots and Beckett's. Well, there's nothing quite like it. Welcome along to race day.
All right, let's just check the grids just in case. Nope, no changes. So P18 for Jensen, starting above the back four, the always present back four of Caterham and Marussia. And then everyone else ahead of us. That's going to be a fair bit of work just to cut through those guys. And I don't know whether we're going to be able to get back on terms with Grosjean and Raikkonen. So this could be a very painful Grand Prix. The two-stop is the suggested strategy here. We could try a one-stop. And that would be asking a lot of the tyres. What's the temperature going to be like? Let's have a look at the overview. 21 degrees. Could be a little warm. Let's start on mediums. And look at maybe going soft. And that will give us a little bit of flexibility to try the one stop. I might just go with a one stop with Jensen, given how far back he is, just to try and get him up into the top 10. Yeah, let's try it. I'm going to put some extra fuel in the car. I'm going to go with 2 extra laps of fuel. We'll burn that off probably pretty quickly. As always, we'll go aggressive off the line. There we go. And you watch us get safety car after safety car now to completely destroy my fuel strategy. But there we go. 9th and 18th. Terrible starting positions. different strategies. Let's see how we do. The start of the British Grand Prix is next.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. Understandably, there's a lot of people talking about Ferrari's driver.
That's a really strong starting position for them in P5. They just need to keep it clean and sensible in the race.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
We are off. We're not the only ones starting on mediums. Hamilton and Webber also on mediums. Everyone else on softs. So it looks like everyone else is going to maybe two-stop it, with the exception possibly of Vettel, who probably won't stop softs and mediums, given the insane tyre wear that Red Bull has. Button fighting with Valtteri. Kind of boxed in, nowhere to go. Schumacher's got past Hamilton.
Look. We're following the action through turn 5.
Oh, Hamilton gets pushed wide, that's why. Raikkonen pushed him off the track.
And as a result, 8th place is theirs.
Wow, Hamilton dropped down quite a few places there. We're still boxed in, but we're ahead of Bottas on the inside line. Can we get through on Maldonado as well? No, we have to tuck back in. Track temperature is actually quite high. 40.3. Well, I think it's quite high. We'll see whether it continues to stay quite high.
DRS.
I don't want to put them into high overtake because I just think that they're likely. We've seen them both do it now, to spin and make a mistake and just lose a load of places, and we cannot afford to lose ground as Jensen tries to get alongside Maldonado.
0.4.
Keeping the pressure on. Schumacher also trying to keep the pressure on Kimi Raikkonen, but Raikkonen's right there on the back of Webber, so we're not likely to move forward there. Jensen having another little look, but he's now trying to fight against the slipstream. He's got the inside line. Gets the move done. Quite closed the door yet. Has the better exit though, and the slipstream, and we may get a run on Verne here. Verne goes defensive. Can we go around the outside? Through Cox, yes we can. Swoops around him there. We're not going to get Di-Resta's DRS though. Schumacher going to be in a position to have a look in the braking with Stowe. No, he's not close enough. Jensen going chasing after the Resta. One more lap of push, and then we're going to ease things down. In fact, I'm going to ease things down for Jensen now, given that
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
we are looking at maybe one stopping with him. One more lap of push with Michael, though.
Recharge on.
It would be nice to get past Kimi. I think Kimi's more likely to get past Mark Webber. And let's ease off now. Yeah, we've lost ground. Raikkonen's pushed up onto the back of Webber and left us behind. Well, 8 is the target for the sponsors. The board's not going to be happy with that. They're going to be pissed again. I do really think it is entirely possible that we get fired, because we just can't get the results that the board are demanding, which are impossible to achieve. Oh, we got a spin. Hulkenberg pointing in the wrong direction.
As for the team back in the garage, that was a tough moment to watch.
So, now we're up to P14. Has cost us a little bit of time to Di Resta. We might still maybe get his DRS, and Mark Webber's
Let's take a
locked
look at
up.
the replay. It's the Red Bull
How
driver.
big a lockup was
All
it?
good at this point. And the car just locks. And
Quite a bad
hopefully
one.
there's not too much damage to the tyres.
There goes Raikkonen, and there goes Schumacher. So Schumacher's up another place. Up to P7. And Jensen is now in DRS range of Di Resta, who's not on the back of Hamilton.
Overtake available.
Make sure Di Resta doesn't try and sprint away in this next sector. Tyres have really cooled off pretty quick, haven't they? And continuing to cool off. Right, we've got an issue for somebody. It's Adrian Sutil. We're not going to click it because there's no audio. As Hamilton gets past Ricciardo, who is not having a good time of it, it would seem. Webber immediately gets back past Michael
And they
Schumacher.
squeeze by.
Yeah, just stuck his nose, literally stuck his nose up the inside
And the Red Bull
into
says thank you
into
very
Stowe.
much.
So, lap 5, Vettel leads Alonso by 2 seconds. Rosberg in third, about a second and a half back. Then it's the two Lotus drivers, Grosjean and Raikkonen. Raikkonen's made good strides. Just got past Massa. Then Webber and Schumacher, Sutil and Gutierrez rounding out the top 10. Hamilton has recovered to 11th. Then it's Ricciardo, Di Resta, Button in 14th, up 4 places from 18th from the start. We've got Verne trying to hang on to the back of us. Then it's the 2 Williams drivers, Bottas and Maldonado. Then Peak, Van der Gaard, Bianchi, Chilton, and still at the back of the grid after his spin, Nico Hulkenberg. And Webber has left us for dead.
Has DRS. The recharge on is good.
I'm watching the tyre temps and I'm seeing them continuing to just fall away. And I'm starting to wonder if the one stop is not really going to be viable, because we might not be able to keep the heat in the halves on the second stint if the tyres continue to keep dropping away. Look at Schumacher, he's been in that aggressive push, and yet he's still only at 113 degrees. I think we might have to maybe switch Jensen to a 2-stop here.
Recharge on.
And match Schumacher's strategy. I was hoping to do a little bit of tyre saving with Jensen, just to prolong his set of tyres a little bit, but I don't think we're going to be able to get away with it. Again, look, 109, 111 for Schumacher. I know we've got some cloud cover right now, but no, I think we need to change the strategy.
We want good pace. Tyre temperature management looking very good.
So the only potential wrinkle in 8th and 9th is going to be Hamilton. Everyone below, apart from below Schumacher, apart from Hamilton, should not be able to compete with us on pace. But I don't want to finish 9th and 10th. I don't even want to finish 8th and 9th. I want to try and get up near the podium.
Overtake.
That's not going to happen, but that's what I want. Maybe the new chassis, wing and underfloor combination will see us right in the future. Who knows? But for now, we're not where we need to be.
We can push.
Let's go hunting after Ricciardo. Getting Button up into the points was never going to be a problem. It was just how long it would take him to get there. We have been a little fortunate with a couple of mistakes from some drivers, but you can see the gaps starting to open up. Might actually get the DRS here. That would be awesome if we can. We might have just missed it. We've cornered pretty quickly though. We might, if we're really lucky, have a chance to get him in the braking zone here. I think we're going to be a little bit too far off.
Recharge on.
Let's stay close, pick up the DRS for the Wellington straight and take him there into Brooklands.
You can use overtake.
All right, here we go. Oh, he backed out of it. Why did you back out of it, Jensen?
We can have recharge on now.
New fastest lap for Fernando, 131.5. Once again, we are not close enough to the back of Ricciardo.
Pick clear air if you can.
And that's because I was in harvest this time. We'll try once again for the Wellington straight.
Use the overtake button.
And this time we'll tell him to drive in clean air. So he hopefully sticks the attempt. Oh, he might not even be close enough this time. Let's have a look.
Cool the car.
Not even close enough. I wonder if Ricciardo's tried to up his pace a little bit. Right, now we're close. We're right on his gearbox now. Hulkenberg gets past Bianchi. He's now back up to P20. He should start pulling away pretty quickly. Vettel now with a new fastest lap, a 131.555. So tiny, tiny margin quicker. We just don't have enough oomph.
Recharge on.
All right, let's just stay tucked in like this then.
Key thing is to keep the tyre in good shape. Keep the tyre in
Hamilton
good
now
shape.
up to P9, 5 seconds behind Schumacher. He'll start to close that gap up, I would imagine. It's almost dropped Gutierrez.
That's P13. Gap 0.7.
Wow, 131.8 last lap for Hamilton. Satil's car gets worse. That should drop him into the clutches of Ricciardo and Jensen pretty quickly. Whatever the issue is. Ooh, yellow flag. That is Sutil running wide.
Right then, we can take a look now. Here we've got the Aston Martin. And they just can't keep on the track. Perhaps a little lapse in concentration, maybe.
Right, this time we are very close.
Maximum PU cooling.
Thought we might have a little look in the braking zone there. Apparently not.
Okay to close the gap.
And this time we should get him.
Use overtake.
If he doesn't back out of it in the braking zone, he nearly backed out of it. He's still not completely done. There we go. Finally, we get past Ricciardo. And we get straight into Sutil's DRS. We want to clear him quickly. Had to work hard on this
Now,
one.
this is what happened as they took turn 8. The opportunity begging to be taken.
That took many more laps than I wanted it to, but we are through. It's P12 now. Rosberg with the new fastest lap of 1:31.548. They are taking fractions. Tiny fractions off these lap times here.
He has DRS. Okay, keep looking after the tyre. Recharge button on.
Hamilton's now just 3.2 seconds behind Michael Schumacher, who's dropped away significantly to the back of Webber and Massa. This is always going to be a circuit that exposed our car a little bit. High-speed nature of it, and the very fast high-speed left-right corners as well through Maggotts Beckett's is an area where we are particularly weak.
Overtake available.
Right, charging up at him. I think he might be out of battery. I think that's what his issue is. I think it's his battery is empty, not charging up. We got a little bit there. He's out of battery again. Uncontested at all. I said uncontested, he immediately overtakes us again. We might have to go into high overtake here just to make these moves stick.
Let's use the chance now.
Again, look, he's out of battery, look. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. Chilton's into the pits. We still haven't got the move done.
We've got a yellow flag here.
So Van der Garde with a spin.
And then the car just goes. And that certainly wouldn't have been in their plans today.
Into the pits. First one into the pits. Oh, Alonso's into the pits. Wow. No, Chilton's about to get lapped already. Got the hard tyres. That's got to be a 2-stop though. It's too long on those tyres. Alonso sets the fastest lap because he went through the pit lane on push flaps. He's gone soft again, so definite 2-stop for Alonso. Yeah, that's one of the foibles, the little quirks of this circuit, is that you can do a fastest lap simply by going into the pits on a flying lap.
Pack is low.
Because you cut
Focus
out
on
this
recharge.
slow chicane double right-hander to get to the line. You just go straight and then the quick right. Hamilton now just 1.5 seconds or so behind us. Getting a few cars diving into the pits now. Chilton, the only one who's gone on to hard so far. Maldonado about to go onto a set of hard tyres. Eventually going to go onto a set of hard tyres. There he goes.
Oh
What did
no,
Vern put on?
that's a slow pit stop there.
Vern put on mediums. Turn our attention back to Schumacher. We've not checked in with him for a little while. Still got a kilo of spare fuel to burn off. And Massa's in. Medium tyres for Felipe Massa. Again, it's 2-stop. It's way too early for a 1-stop. If it's a 1-stop, then we're looking at somewhere in the sort of the 24 to 26 kind of window. So not for another 8 to 10 laps, I would imagine, for the 1-stops.
We are ready for you.
Massa just getting out ahead of Gutierrez. That was Jensen we just saw in the background there. There he is. And there is Hamilton now just half a second behind. Chat's quiet tonight. It is. It is very quiet. Oh, Hamilton gets up the inside of us. We just about kind of shut that door. And that will have compromised us, and Hamilton will easily get past us here. There we go, back to P8 we go. So that's now technically P9 on paper. Van der Gaard in as well now. He's gone on to a set of medium tyres. So still just the two who have gone hard tyres, and they are 2-stopping. They're not 1-stopping. Sutil, Ricciardo and Di Resta all in nose to tail. And Di Resta might have to wait to get into his pit box here. He's not that far behind. Oh, and it's a bad stop for Sutil as well. Oh, what a disaster. Ricciardo jumps Sutil. Di Resta is going to get jumped potentially here by Vern as a result of being held for so long in the pit lane. Yeah, there's Vern. Ah, bad. Look at that. We're nearly 3 seconds behind Hamilton already. Looks like we are on for 9th and 10th then today, which is just edging us one step closer to getting sacked. Weber boxes. Again, still a little early if you want to one-stop it, so this is probably a two-stop. That's softs, so yeah, this is a two-stop. Hamilton's in, and because he went through the pit lane, he gets a new fastest lap. 1:30.5. New soft tyres waiting for him. And a bad stop. So Webber's come out ahead of Jensen. Hamilton's 6 seconds behind, but he'll catch up very, very quickly. We're going to be in probably the end of next lap, I think, with both cars. There's a big enough gap between them. 9.5 seconds or so. We go flying past Chilton. Gutierrez in a lap earlier than us. What tires is he going on to? Mediums or softs? We are starting to creep up.
We're boxed this lap.
Yeah, mediums. We're starting to creep up onto a one-stop window. I mean, given that Vettel has done 18 laps. Yeah, we won't have the grip. We won't have the grip on these tyres. Maybe... I mean, fastest lap is not worth anything. It's just bragging rights. It doesn't. There's no bonus point for fastest lap. So, I mean, we would need really, really good tyres. Plus, it's still early in the Grand Prix. It would no doubt still get beaten at some point later in the Grand Prix as fuel loads burn off. Problem for Hulkenberg running wide. I believe that was Stoke. There's still a soft going on for Rosberg, so he's definitely two-stopping. In comes Schumacher. That was Webber we just saw in the background. Jensen approaching the pit lane now. Oh! Go away. Bad stops. And in comes Jensen.
And there's been a slow pit stop.
It's better, but 2.6 is not exactly quick. So it'll be 9th for Schumacher. Jensen might get overtaken by Gutierrez. He did stop before us. Yeah, we will. There goes Gutierrez. We'll get out in front of Ricciardo, though. Let's get these tyres warmed up. We're 8 seconds behind Hamilton. Slightly fresher tyres. Don't think that will really account for much, though.
P11.
And we've burnt off all of our spare fuel up. So those 2 laps of fuel that we put in lasted 20 laps. Ricardo really has closed in on us, hasn't he? Well, we're still getting our tyres at the temp.
Pace.
That's P11.
There we go, finally into the tyre window. Kimi Raikkonen boxes. This is potentially in one-stop territory. If he goes to hards, it's definitely going to be a one-stop. Have we won from being in the pit stop? No, you can't box on the final lap. You can't pull a Schumacher at Silverstone. Medium tyres. He might. Yeah, it's a long way to go. He might try it and risk a puncture. But he's going to do 31 laps on those tyres. Hamilton goes through. No, it's not possible anywhere. We get the fastest lap for now, 1:30.5. We're not going to keep it. You're not allowed to box on the final lap. It immediately grays the option out. 1:30.0 for Jensen.
That's a good lap. Good lap.
So when you get to the final lap, this box grays out the
Lift
second
off end of straight.
you cross the line. In real life, too, hypothetically, I think they banned it after Schumacher did that in, do you know what year it was? 97? Right, Vettel's in. He's gone medium tyres. He should be able to take those to the end, but again, it's going to be a long old distance. 30 laps for those tyres. Let me Google it, see when Schumacher did actually do that. I think it was 97. And that was to serve a penalty. That was 98. Yeah, he had a 10-second stop-and-go penalty, so they called him in on the final lap. But of course, he crossed the line under the way the old start-finish straight was. He actually crossed the line before he reached his pit box to serve his penalty. So technically, he won the Grand Prix without having to serve the penalty. It was very, very contentious. And I think they've closed that potential loophole from happening again. Right, medium tyres going on eventually for Roman Grosjean. Are there any more pit stops shorter than the last few corners like Silverstone? Not anymore. Spa in its previous configuration, kind of. I mean, you just kind of went straight on before the bus stop. But the bus stop now is a gradual sort of approach to the left, and then you had that little sort of right-left jink onto the start-finish straight. What it used to be was a straight like that, and then you would turn left and right and have a hard chicane there, and then it would bend back around to the right and then swoop round to the left again. Whereas if you wanted to go to the pits, you would just go straight on at the chicane. That configuration hasn't been in Formula One for quite some time now. But that's how it was set up in the 90s, when Spa was on the grid in the 90s. 97, 98, that kind of era. I can't think of any other circuits where you cut a couple of corners. Yeah, nothing's coming to mind off the top of my head.
Tyre management, everything's good.
Possibly Magny-Cours. That circuit's changed its configuration so much over the years. Donington was one. If you watch Donington in '93, it was kind of a slightly shorter route. I need to reconfigure
How's this tyre?
my preset on my webcam. Keeps tilting down, or tilting up too much. If it doesn't come off the top of my head, then it doesn't exist. No, that I know a lot, but I don't know everything when it comes to Formula One, as we saw from the quizzes I tried earlier.
Use overtake. Blue flags.
Get out the way, Bianchi. Made barely any impression on Hamilton. We've taken the second out of him since we came out the pits, but Not really doing too much. Yeah, there weren't speed limits in the pits back then either. People were going in at like as fast as they wanted. there was no real pit lane safety protocol at all back then. So the cars would go absolutely screaming in and out of the pits, and you'd have mechanics and camera people just wandering all over the place. I'm amazed there weren't more people getting run over in the pit lane.
Pick clear air if you can.
We think there's still opportunities here.
Oh, great. Schumacher's got an issue.
Charge on.
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
Yeah, ERS. I had a feeling it might be ERS. There's Van der Gaard.
0.4. Deep breath, you're going to be okay.
And we've lost time to Hamilton again. Ooh, a yellow flag. Is that? Yeah, that's the Caterham and Peak running wide, and the Exeter Stowe.
Just a bit too wide at that point.
Yeah, just a bit.
Really, they must be careful.
He's 1.3 behind.
I wouldn't say
lose too much
Gutierrez is
time.
driving the race of his life. It's the dirty air and in realistic racing that's making it really hard for us to overtake. We should be able to breeze past him. I mean, the Sauber's not a bad car. It's not a great car, but it's not a bad car. I would say it's probably the 6th best car. But we definitely have the advantage, but the dirty air is absolutely killing us. I think Button would be quicker. And if we take a look at lap times, Schumacher did a 1:31.8 with a battery issue compared to a 1:31.9 from Gutierrez. He's pulling away as well. He's pushing to break away. And that's why the gap's opened up. You know, we couldn't get past him, and now he's sprinting to try and open the gap back up again. His pace will start to drop off again in a moment. Right, Alonso's in. So this should be for a set of mediums, I think, to take him to the end. Yep, mediums waiting. Vettel goes through. Another fastest lap in the pit lane there for Alonso. Not the quickest of stops. Rosberg goes through. Massa might get him here as well. Yeah, Massa's going to get him. Will he get out in front of Webber? Don't know if he will. It's going to be tight. There's Webber. Oh, he's out behind Webber, but he's ahead of Grosjean. But, crucially, Alonso has made his final stop. So, that is him good to the end. When I watched the 24 hours of the Nürburgring, probably not the whole thing, no. Highlights, probably. Maybe, you know, if it's on free to watch, I might dip in here and there. Alonso is struggling to get through. His tyres won't be quite at the temperature yet. Webber is in full-on defensive mode. Alonso's got the run, he's got the line, he's got the battery, he's got the grip. Webber just throws it around the outside in the braking zone. Wow.
We are ready for you.
He just went sailing past there. Into the pits comes Ricciardo. Someone out for the first time ever. Yeah, I mean, it's Max. Adding that extra prestige. It's like, and this is going to be a silly comparison, but it's the only one that immediately springs to mind. It's when Brock went to the UFC. They did huge, insane, numbers for Brock's first fights. I mean, he lost his first fight. No, he won his first fight. I think, or did he lose? Was his debut against Brock Lesnar? I'm talking about in UFC when he left WWE to go to the UFC the first time. I'm trying to remember if Frank Mir was his first match. I think it was. I think that was his UFC debut. Was Frank Mir the first time, and he lost. He got caught in a leg grapevine and had to tap. But 2 or 3 fights later, and he was the world champion. He was a heavyweight champion, and then he went up against Mir again and absolutely pummeled the crap out of him. But those early Brock Lesnar fights, there was so much hype about, Brock coming into the UFC, that the numbers were huge. Because, although he'd come from the fake sport of pro wrestling, he had amateur background where he was an All-American champion. I think a 2-time All-American. And he was a big guy, huge guy. You know, he was a mammoth of a man. You know, so I'm not at all surprised that there was that sort of curiosity factor of like, can this guy actually fight, or you know, is he all show and no go? And you know, he had that hitting power. Right, batteries are just about full again. We're going to be stopping in the next few laps.
Time management looks okay. Okay to push.
Just to give you an idea of where we are compared to the leaders, there, just coming into the final corners now, is Sebastian Vettel. He's a sector behind, that's it. Evening, Kadir. We've got a yellow flag out there. So Rosberg sets a fastest lap going into the pits. Let's see if Webber takes it away from him.
Now,
A
we
lock
can
up
see
for
what
Paul di
happened.
Resta in turn 2,
Right,
which
we're
is an odd
taking
one.
the second corner.
Oh yeah,
car fails
that's
to
a very
respond.
odd one. I
What
rarely
caused
ever
that,
see
I
that.
wonder?
It's normally turn 3 where the lockup happens. Webber did take the fastest lap by going into the pits and had a bad stop as well. That cost him a few seconds. Hulkenberg's into the pits. I thought that was Gutierrez for a minute then.
That will be a pit stop.
Push now.
I'm not going to try and get past Mark Webber because there's no point. Because if we even manage it, he'll just get straight back past us again, and we'll just lose time fighting. We're better to just stay behind him and get the DRS off him on our in lap. Di Resta and Bianchi in the pits. You see how quickly Webber just pulled away from us there in that middle sector. Right, in comes Schumacher. I wonder if Gutierrez is going to stop this lap. I hope not. Oh, damn it, he is. Alright, 2.4. That's a better stop. Another 2.4. That's excellent. So, fourth fastest stop there for Schumacher. We closed the gap to Gutierrez a little bit with our stop. Not much.
This is P11. 17 laps to go from here. 17 laps to go from here.
Rosberg sets a new fastest lap. 128.3.
Suggest reduce a bit, lift
Hamilton's
and
into the
coast.
pits. He's to the softs and a very quick stop for him as well. Webber's gone through. That shows you just how far behind Hamilton we are now. Alonso back into second place. He's 21 seconds behind Vettel. That's enough to undercut him if Vettel stops. I don't think he's going to. His pace is still strong. He's still doing 130s. And we know that the tyre wear on that car is very, very good. So I think he'll just stay out for the last 15 laps. He may possibly come in with a few laps to go, but I don't think he will. Medium tyres going on for Massa. He's getting held for Jean-Eric Verne coming in. Decent stop for Verne. A little slow on the exit though. Right, let's see if we can go after Gutierrez.
Let's have maximum pace this lap.
At the very least, we need to get Jensen up into P10.
Tyre temperatures in a good window.
In the opening sector, it's purple. That's a good start. So Gutierrez did his push the second he came out the pits. We didn't. We waited, let the tyres come in, get them up to temperature before we go for the big, battery burn and try and blitz the pace. So far, we've taken about 1.2 seconds out of him this lap. We set the fastest
You got
lap.
fastest lap.
127.9. We might actually hang on to that if we're lucky. It's bragging rights only, not worth a point. Trying to set him up for a run down the hanger straight into Stowe.
There's still opportunities here.
Close enough. Not close enough. Vettel is. There's Vettel. We're going to get
0.7.
lapped if we're not
Yeah,
careful.
well done.
This is it. Last opportunity.
Tyre temperature management looking very good.
Cool the car.
Yes, we got him. Just as well, because our tyres are not happy. And we're out of battery now as well.
Just increased LICO. Okay, recharge on.
Oh,
Good.
can we drop him? Ah, he's just going to get the DRS, I think. Hamilton sets the fastest lap, takes it away from us at 127.8. The tiniest of margins. Gutierrez did not get the DRS. We'll get a slipstream, but not the DRS. Look at that. We had a 127.9, he had a 127.8, beat us by a tenth of a second. Less than a tenth of a second. And there we go. Now that we're
So
ahead of
this is
Gutierrez, we
P10.
should be good. Ninth and 10th. We're not going to hit our sponsor
It's
targets
1.3
with
behind.
either of our drivers here. It's 8th for Schumacher, 9th for Jensen. All we can do is hope that there's a retirement in front of us,
How's the tyre?
and that will magically bump both of my drivers up into their targets for the sponsors. But that's only the targets for the sponsors. I mean, the board are not going to be happy with 9th and 10th. Not at all. I do really worry that we are going to get sacked. I don't even know if we'll make it to the end of the summer break, or to the summer break. I think we might get sacked at the midpoint of the season here. Because if this dips into lost confidence, I don't think we're actually going to be able to turn it round in time. Not unless the upgrades that we've got coming are going to suddenly give us a huge amount of pace, and I don't think they are. All we can do is cross our fingers and hope, but we're certainly going to, maybe jump Lotus, but we're not going to be on the pace of Red Bull. We're not going to be on the pace of Ferrari and Mercedes. I mean, we're 20 seconds near enough behind Hamilton now.
You need to push.
And Hamilton was 2 seconds a lap quicker than us that last lap. Let's see, we are still lapping slower than Vettel. At this rate, he won't catch us. It's only, a few tenths, maybe half a second a lap. So at this rate, he won't catch us, but we're going to see him any second. Oh, just cut away. We might see him on the next lap, coming out onto the hangar straight as we hit Stowe. It's been a brutal race once again.
Okay, we have blue flags.
As we put a lap on Chilton again. Is he 2 laps down now? 3 laps down now. Maybe that's Bianchi then. Yeah, it's Bianchi. There's Chilton. He's about to get lapped by Webber for the third time. Right, Vettel's pace is starting to dip. He did a 130 last lap and a 128.8 for Alonso. He's not going to catch him unless Vettel gets a puncture. I don't know if he is going to get a puncture, but his pace has certainly dipped a little bit. Back to a 129.5 last lap. Maybe he was just a little bit slow. There wasn't traffic. There wasn't any traffic for him. He's definitely getting closer. We saw Bianchi there. We didn't quite see Vettel. Next lap round, we'll see Vettel at that point. We see that camera shot again.
Blue flags.
So that's one Sauber lapped, with the other one coming up to lap his teammate. Yeah, it's been a miserable afternoon for Hulkenberg, isn't it? There was Vettel. We just saw him in the background. Whizzing through into the Maggots-Beckett's complex. Schumacher now 23 seconds behind Hamilton, lapping a second a lap slower. Another 129 lap for Vettel, a 129.7. 3/10 this time. We are separated by just the Wellington Straight. That's it. As we put a lap on Pastor Maldonado. Saw the two Saubers very close to each other. Gutierrez is now ahead of Nico Hulkenberg. So he's lapped his teammate. That was Vettel. And we just saw him appearing at the top of the hangar straight there. He's just slowly inching towards us. Luckily, he's not going to catch us to lap us. Unless we make a mistake. Entirely possible, but I'd like to say not likely, but the number of mistakes we've seen out of our two drivers this weekend already is not encouraging. Six laps to go. For Seb, 7 laps for us.
How's the tyre?
Ooh, yellow flag. Who and for what? Ah, just a lock up for Van der Gaard. Not even going to bother.
Okay, use deploy.
So as predicted, once we got ahead of Gutierrez, we would have the pace to just pull away from him. That has easily been the case. We've got a 5-second lead at the moment over him. It's about to increase a little bit with us starting to push the battery on Jensen, and with Seb closing in. Seb's lapped Hulkenberg. Next up is Maldonado, then it's Gutierrez. And he's lapping a second a lap quicker, so he will get Gutierrez. Right, we have 5 laps to go. Race leader Seb now has 4 laps to go as he gets past Maldonado. I have to see what his tyres look like. They're still fine. I mean, they've not got a huge amount of rubber left on them, but he's not risking a puncture at all. Look, that was Gutierrez in front. We'll open up the editor and have a look at the Red Bull tyre wear afterwards, but it's comprehensively better than ours. Comprehensively better than anyone's. Right, 4 laps for us, about to be 3 laps for Seb. Bottom's lapped Bottas.
Okay, recharge on.
This has been a pretty comfortable Grand Prix for Seb, hasn't it? He's 17 seconds clear of Alonso. He doesn't even need to push. And yet he's still lapping in the 129s. He's still lapping quicker than we are. And there we go. There is Gutierrez getting lapped. So only the top 10 on the lead lap now. But it is once again a scary demonstration of pace from that Red Bull. Webber has not looked quick this weekend at all. Currently being beaten by both of the Lotus cars. I don't think he's even got the pace to try and close up on them either. We'll see if he's lucky enough to maybe catch him at the end here. He's not got the DRS this time round. He's going to have 2 laps to try and get the move done. As they go flying through past Daniel Ricciardo. And that has allowed him to get close enough to have a look at Kimi. But even if he gets past Kimi, I don't think he's going to be able to get up to the back of Grosjean. Hamilton might yet catch Massa. He's into that dirty air window at the moment, which is going to make it hard. Plus his tyres are probably in not particularly great shape as well. Massa's are probably a little bit better. Last 2 laps for us now. Doesn't look like we're going to see that retirement we needed to give us a bit of a boost. Final lap now for Seb. This is Webber's chance to try and get past Kimi. DRS is open. He's got the slipstream. He has a little half-hearted look, but he wasn't close enough. Will he try and throw it here? No. One more opportunity for him. Hamilton has caught the back of Massa. Oh, Webber is all over Raikkonen here. Raikkonen also going for a one-stop strategy. Webber can't get on the brakes late enough. Raikkonen holds the position. He's going to have a chance. One last chance through the down the Hangar Straight and braking into Stowe. Hamilton can't get through. Massa. They've gone past Webber as well. Maybe that was the decisive factor in stopping that attempt. Evening, Clark. Vettel wins.
Red Bull takes the win.
It's win number 6 now for Seb.
All credit to the team for the car they've put together. But without that incredible and consistent driving, it'd all be for nothing.
Oh, there's traffic in the way. And that's killed their opportunity. Well, it's killed Webber's chance. Hamilton's just not close enough. Good race? Not really. Not for us. We've been in no man's land. Look how far off we are. We're nowhere. Just haven't had any pace here. I'm hoping the next Grand Prix will be a little bit better. We've got a new chassis coming for the next race. We've got a new front wing and underfloor on the way as well. But yeah, we've just been absolutely nowhere today. Schumacher crosses the line 26.5 seconds behind Hamilton. Jensen, having started down in 18th, got himself up into the points, had to work really hard to get past Gutierrez, but once we finally got past him, we were able to drive away from him. He finishes 16 seconds behind his teammate. And the last car on the lead lap. As Seb lapped everybody up to and including 11th place.
And on our screens at the moment, the McLaren driver.
Just managing a finish in the points, having crossed the line in 10th.
Now, Karun, with that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
They did okay today, I'd say. I mean, we're talking about such a competitive field, and all things considered, the drivers did all right.
And here in Silverstone, the weekend now draws to a close.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
So confirmation then of the final result. 6 wins from 8 now for Sebastian Vettel as he stretches his lead at the top of the standings once again. Fernando Alonso in second, Rosberg in third, then it was Grosjean ahead of Raikkonen. 2 places gained for Kimi, but not able to keep up or catch up to his teammate. Webber, not the greatest race, started and finished 6th. Massa down a couple of places to finish 7th. Hamilton 8th. Would have been higher up, I think, had he not had that issue on lap 1, or was it lap 2, where he got pushed wide by Raikkonen and dropped down to like P13. Had that not happened, I think Hamilton would have finished probably P6, maybe even P5, maybe even P4. He had the pace. Schumacher in 9th, then Jensen up 8 places to take the final point in 10th. Everyone else a lap or more down. It was Gutierrez from Ricciardo, Sutil from Di Resta. Di Resta not able to get past the wounded car of his teammate there. Verne from Bottas. Then we're into the 2 laps down. Maldonado and Hulkenberg and Charles Pic. And then at the back of the grid, 3 laps down was Van der Gaard, Bianchi and Chilton. In the driver standings, Seb now has 183 points. It is second place now for Alonso as he leaps past Hamilton by 5 points. He's on 115, so he is 68 points behind Seb. Hamilton in third on 110. Webber has 89 points, also on 89 points in fifth. Nico Rosberg. Raikkonen has 64 points. Schumacher 7th has 44. Felipe Massa moves back up into 8th place above Jensen by a point. He's on 40. Jensen has 39. Grosjean with 31 points, picking up 12 today. And then we have Di Resta with 4 points. And then the non-scorers, Ricciardo from Sutil. Verne from Gutierrez, who's up 2 places after his strong finish in 11th today. Then Hulkenberg, Bottas, Pic, Van der Gaard, Chilton, Maldonado, and Jules Bianchi. In the constructors' standings, 33 points for Red Bull, outscoring everybody else. They are now on 272 points, which puts them 73 points clear of Mercedes in second. They're on 199. Ferrari on 155 in third. Lotus moved back ahead of us into 4th place. They're on 95 points. We're on 83. They outscored us by 19 points today. Force India have 4 points, and then no one else has scored. It's Toro Rosso from Sauber, then Williams, Caterham, and Marussia. However, we did okay in the pit stops. We got 3rd and 6th. Not too bad at all. Red Bull got the quickest stop with Seb. Mercedes getting some good points as well. 2nd and 5th for them. Ferrari in 4th. Caterham getting another car nicely in the top 10. 7th place with Van der Gaard's stop there. Lotus picking up 8th place with Raikkonen's stop. And then Sauber getting the last 2 positions for 3 points. Let's take a look at the standings. We are still top. Red Bull have moved up 2 places into second and closed the gap to us by 2 points. They are now 28 points behind. Ferrari down to third with 117, and Caterham, despite another finish in the top 10, down into 4th with 108. Then it's Williams with 78, Toro Rosso with 64, Big points for Mercedes today. That moves them up 3 places. They're now on 46 points, ahead of Force India, also on 46. Lotus have 40, Sauber have 33, and it's Marussia bottom with 8. And then you see a summary of our stops there. Not the best first stop for Jensen at 2.6. Pretty rubbish first stop for Schumacher with the stuck wheel nut. But both of their second stops were good enough for a decent points finish. And speaking of finishes, neither driver finished in the position they needed for the sponsors. So we get no money from this Grand Prix, which is not a good sign. Alright, so Oliver Turvey has gone up by a rating point, up to a 71 overall. We are going to see when is the next Grand Prix. I think it's a while away. I think it's, yeah, there we go. 2 weeks away. So we will have new front wings. And we will hopefully have a new chassis as well for both cars. Certainly for one of the cars. We've got some money coming through from the sponsors as well. That will help. We've got very little money in the bank at all, thanks to the fact that we did not manage to achieve any sponsor targets. The board are going to be absolutely pissed. Have they lost confidence in us? Not yet. It would seem. Not yet. Let's have a look. So we destroyed an underfloor. In practice, we knew about that. Or was that Q1? It might have been Q1. We lost a rear wing as well. Let's see if we can swap some bits over. We've got the underfloor already changed over. Rear wing, we do have spares. There we go. Let's see just how annoyed the board were. It's another disappointed. They've been disappointed with everything so far this year. They're still at low confidence, and I am concerned. I am very concerned that sooner or later that is going to slip. Let me see how many races do we have left till the mid-season break. We've got Austria in 2 weeks. Then we've got Hungary. And then we've got Spa. Right, is that our board assessment? It is. Our board assessment comes the week before Spa. So we've got 2 more Grand Prix until our assessment. Which means if they lose confidence in me in Austria, we will not have time to really recover or try and recover. I don't like this. I really don't like this. I had no idea how insane a challenge this was going to be. It's absolutely mental. Let's go ahead and build one front wing because that's all we have the money for now. There we go. Just to at least get the ball rolling on those. We are 3 days away from both of those being done, but we'll have money in a day or two to be able to up those build queues. Let's dive in here. So the front wing is going to give us a little bit of a boost. Let's get our sponsors done. Oh, of course, yeah, we didn't get any engagement, did we? So this is where we have to mod the money in. I remember now. So 986,000. Okay. At least we got some money from the wind tunnel hire. What should we have had? 4.18, and we got 986. least I think it was that. Let me just double check. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, 986. Okay, so I need my calculator because I'm not even going to try and work this out mentally at this time of day. Where is my calculator? There it is. So 4.18 minus 0.986. Means we need to add in 3.194. So we need to, before we do anything else, finish this. No, let's not do that again. Let's make sure we can actually achieve what we need to this time around as well. Sure we can, or we can just. We're gonna have to do something less than favorable, but at least we don't have to put our main drivers in. Let's go with the CFD sim, and then that's close with the weather center. Don't want to use the simulator. What do I? Screw it. Let's use the simulator just to give us that little bit of extra comfort, as opposed to beating it by just over 100. We'll beat it by 400, and that way we'll have a little bit more of a guarantee. So let's begin that sponsor period. We've got a mandatory payout coming as well of an extra 950k for an energy drink advert. And now we need to create a save. There we go. So let's overwrite our 2013 save. There we go. Let's open up the screen a bit. Where is what I need? There it is. Okay, so database editor. We need to reload this save now. So where is 2013? There it is. Okay, so if we go to finances in Teams, there we go. Damn it. Did not mean to do that. This toolbar. Every time I turn it off and there's an update on Opera, it just reinstalls it or unticks it. You know, me blocking that from popping out. Let me see if I can do it now. Show sidebar. No. There we go. That's better. It bugs the crap out of me when it constantly keeps popping up like that. So, what were we going to do? Yes, we need to go to Teams. We need to go to us, McLaren. There we are. And we need to change our bank balance. So, it's 3.194 plus 5.753. So we need about 8.947, but we didn't do any of the change, so we'll just call it 8,948,000 and change. No change. There we go. That's a nice round number. Wow, we spent 79.5 mil on our cost cap, and we're not even halfway through the season. Although, having said that, I think the cost cap is about 150 million on this so far, so that's not a major issue for us at this stage. And some of the bigger expenses are already taken care of. So we need to save this. There we go. And while we're here, let's take a look at performance. Look at the oh wow, look at the Lotus. Holy shit, they're at 91%. Red Bull at 85% nearly. 84% for Sauber. We're down here with 56%, which is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely awful. Right, so let's get my save games shortcuts. Let's open up downloads. There's the save. Let's drag it in and overwrite. There we go. Get rid of that. Go to loads. And there we go. The money that we lost because it did not allow us to actually do any fulfillment because it dropped on a Sunday, on a race day, has now been accounted for. I really don't like having to do that, but it's just one of those annoying little bugs in the game, unfortunately. So we have compensated for that. We will have to do it again, I think, later in the year as well, which is annoying. But we've got some cash now, so now we can go to car part development, we can go to manufacturing, we can increase the number of these. Let's go to 3 of those. There we go. We can also increase the number of front wings. Let's go for 5 of those. And we can do some development. And you know what? I know I was going to wait on the suspension until next year, but I've just seen how bad our tyre wear is. We can't wait. We need to do something to try and rebalance this as best we can. So we're going to have to sacrifice a load of drag. We are going to lose expertise all across the board here. But we are going to go with just this, like this, on intense. Just to try and reset our areas on the suspension. So this one we're going to build. We're not going to build it. We're just going to research it, or develop it, and then we're going to have to do another one after that. And hopefully, with that one, we can then start to maybe claw back some gains. What you'll find with the sliders is that if you're pushing one part of the sliders up dramatically, then you will lose out somewhere else. So, for example, this airflow here, if we were to push this all the way up, then we are going to lose out our expertise in some of these other areas. Now, this is actually a pretty good baseline for this car anyway, so it's not a major issue. But you can see here, we've got 8.5% on that. We're chipping in 3.17% from our own expertise and our facilities. And then the way the car is currently spec'd, it's going to gain 4% on cooling through how we've been working the upgrades, and we're getting a little bit of airflow. So the total improvement's 8.5%. But if we start to move this, you can see that that drops significantly. The airflow goes from a positive to a negative effect, and that drops the overall attribute down. What we need to do is we need to get our expertise positive for some of these other areas on our suspension, and that is going to be tricky. It's going to be very tricky. Alright, we need to find speed, and we also need to find downforce. I can find good speed, possibly at the cost to downforce. Let me see if maybe doing that, like that, and then whooshing that, I'm still losing out. There we go. That'll give me some speed. A little bit of extra there as well. Let's get one of those going on intense as well. And that's me pretty much out of cash again. But we'll have a Mark V side pod. That's the point. Did I actually... Do I have any Mark IVs built? No. Okay. We've messed that up. Because we actually... I thought we were on a Mark III, not a Mark IV that hadn't been built. So we need to reload. And undo that side pod build. Because we're judging it against a side pod that hasn't even been fitted or built. So we're judging it against incorrect values. Alright, so let's go back in, get the suspension just reset like that. We'll do intense to try and improve our overall expertise a little bit. We're not going to do the side pod because we've got to build our side pod. We are going to increase the number of chassis. There we go. We're going to increase the number of front wings. There we go. And now we can actually build that Mark IV side pod that I didn't realise we actually had waiting to be built. This is the problem when you haven't played the file for a little while. There we go. So we'll get some gains on that. We'll probably be able to make gains with the next one, but I want to get this one built and fitted first. And then let me see, is there anything else that we need to work on? No, no. And we've got a new underfloor still to come. So, okay. We've got 2 mil in the bank. Let me check our facilities. They're all good. They're good. And they're all good as well. That, then, is about as good as we can do. I know we've got low stock on chassis. We're working on it. We get a new ATR period. Not sure what we're going to drop those on. Maybe on a new rear wing. We're going to need 5.4 mil to do an intense rear wing. There's our underfloor. We're not going to have the money for that. Let's start building these new underfloors. So the new underfloor, we're going to get some nice little bits of downforce as a gain. We're going to lose a tiny bit of dirty air tolerance, but we're really good in dirty air, so that's okay. What we do need is just as much additional performance as we can get. Let's go 4 of those. There we go. And let's get an extra chassis as well. There we go. So we're skint. We have no money. We've got 95 grand, less than 95 grand in the bank, but we've got spare parts coming and new upgrades coming, which is nice. Let's have a look at the strategy prep. It is going to be warm, not expecting rain. And it's going to be quite hot on Saturday and a little bit warmer on warm on Sunday. That's going to be a two-stop. Absolutely going to be a two-stop. The question is, what kind of tyres are we going to go with? Let's take a look at the new front wing. And look at the gains we're going to make in the low speed here. That's a significant gain. A decent gain in the medium speed. Not much of a gain in the high speed, but we might gain a bit more on some of the other bits that are coming to the car as well. And then that little bit of dirty air we're losing, we're getting kind of making back here with the dirty air on the front wing. We're getting a bit more tyre wear here as well. Let's slap that on. And then I should have a chassis available. There it is. And that's going to give me some speed, acceleration, DRS improvements. Next to nothing in terms of downforce or engine cooling. But this is all about just trying to improve the speed of the car. Take a little bit of weight off the car where we could. We will go with that on Michael's car and hope that we don't destroy it. Do we have a side pod we can put on his car as well? We do. And that there, again, is about getting a bit more speed. There we go. So let's compare the cars. Let's see how much of a change that's made. So 0.4 kilometers an hour. Negligible on acceleration, but any gain is a good gain. Again, negligible on DRS. No change to low speed because Jensen's got the new front wing as well. Let me take the front wing off Jensen's car actually, because I want to see just how much of an improvement that made. Let's put the old one back on. There we go. Back to car analysis. Flipped them the other way around this time. That's fine. So, yeah, look at that. That's a nice big gain in the cornering there. Pretty good gain there as well. Not much of a gain there, but some. Negligible again on dirty air. Tyre wear goes up by a little bit. Engine cooling goes up by a little bit. What does that look like in terms of ranks? Ooh, look at that. That puts us top in acceleration, best in DRS, 6th in speed, 9th in low speed, 9th in medium speed, 10th in high speed, dirty air down to 6th. So we have made some little gains, haven't we? A little bit of extra speed is nice. Absolutely, a little bit of extra speed is nice. It's nothing compared to the Red Bull, who aren't even the quickest car themselves, but they've got much better downforce than us. You take a look at the values here. 2.644. We just gained a huge amount on our front wing on low speed, and it's still quite a way off. We are a long way off on the medium speed. We are a long way off on the high speed. We're down just a tiny bit, a couple of percent on the dirty air. Speed-wise, we're not too far behind them in terms of speed now. We've definitely got much better acceleration, and their DRS is not that effective. But look at the tyre wear. I mean, that's just obscene. Absolutely obscene. So who has got the best straight line speed? Alonso. But again, it looks like it's the same top speed for Red Bull. Oh no, they are down a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. ever so slight difference between the two Red Bull specs as well. So yeah, that's a nice little step forward. It's not enough of a step forward to suddenly transform our season, but a big improvement in speed and DRS and dirty air being where it is. Not quite as good as it used to be, but still good. Going into a circuit where speed and DRS are hugely important. That does hopefully set us up for a slightly better performance in Austria, I hope. That's tomorrow's Grand Prix. We'll be back at the usual time, 8 p.m. tomorrow for round 9. Austria, as of course, is our stand-in for Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. So that's the closest we can do, unfortunately. But we will be blitzing around the neighbouring country to where we're actually supposed to be going. And maybe we can knock on the door of better points. And if we get really lucky with incidents, maybe sniff a podium. It's a vain hope, but it's a hope nonetheless. That is all for tonight's stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have and you haven't already done so, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you're not yet subscribed. Click on the bell for notifications on live stream starts. And one other thing before we disappear, one game I have been playing an awful lot of since I picked up yesterday is, if I hide this, I don't really want to move that. With Steam, that's the easiest way to do it. Is this Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hope? I have been absolutely loving this game. I'm going to be doing a series on this, but we will probably do a bit of live streaming of this over the weekend as well. I've already played it for like 21 hours. Played it all day yesterday and all day today. I'm loving it. It's a great game. Really hooked on it. So there'll be some Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hope coming to the channel in the next couple of days as well. So as I say, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed everything today. If you have, all that good fun stuff. And I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.